Right, everyone who's just tuned in now, if you're hearing some banging going on, my wife's smashing up some mini eggs.
I wonder where he was going with that.
Bang.
No, stop, don't trip, seriously. Right, now I've got to actually genuinely do this bit again.
That on the,
Right, dear listeners, I think I should confess, I brought the mood of the podcast down to my angry post-work end of week rage.
Oh, this was funny when he just initially came in going.
I'm starting to tear up a bit now. I've brought Trip and Hamish down to my level, and now I'm jumping ahead.
I was so happy. I arrived bang on time. I actually arrived on time for the podcast. I was in the channel. I was all like, "Oh boy, can't wait to record with my good pals Simon and Hamish today." And then I messaged the WhatsApp group, being like, "Oh, I'm ready. Is everybody ready?" And Simon was like,
God, I
he just got back from work, and also put his kids to bed. I don't know how you just got back from work and put your kids to bed.
Yeah, I was actually sitting there.
I literally walked in the door.
Did you just come back from work, or did you just put your kids to bed?
I just got back from work, walked in, and then went and put my kids to bed, and then I needed some dinner. What
are you angry about, Simon?
I've had a great week at work. I've absolutely smashed it out of the park, right? I've had a fantastic week. I've done some great work, and then earlier on in the week, I had to take my bike to the bike shop to get a back tyre sorted because it keeps going flat.
I don't know why I find that so funny that you're on your little doctor's bike.
Yeah.
I bet it's a really posh one as well. With it, I bet it's an electric bike.
It's not an electric bike. It's
a single speed. You're on doctor's wages,
low
mate.
Maintenance, right? Single speed bike, not a fixie. It's a single speed, and it's on like a 1980s rally frame. And I got the local bike shop to put it together for me, and it's about 2 years old now, and the back tire just keeps getting flats, like pinch flats, or like there's something in the tire. I have no idea.
You need to start going over those draw pins, Simon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like bloody Home Alone. Anyway, I keep taking it in every now and then to get it looked at, and they say it's fine. They put a new tire in it, send me off, and now it's flat again 2 days later. So I rode it to work this morning. It was fine. I got on my bike to ride it home. Flat tire.
Someone's letting your tire down at work, mate.
Yeah,
someone's messing with you. You're doing too well.
It is. It's James. It's James Armstrong. He's showing up and he's going, screw you.
James.
Right. So I was a bit grumpy when I got home, and then I just had some food and I was feeling a bit better. And bless her, she doesn't know what she's done yet. I'll tell her later. The headphones that I normally use on the podcast, if you leave them plugged into the audio for some reason, the battery dies on them. So now I can't use them because they've been left plugged in all day, and now I've got to charge them up, and I've got to use these silly little headphones.
Oh, Nikki, you're in trouble.
No, she's not, because she wouldn't know that that's the problem. But you know, when you're just like, you're in that mood anyway, you'll find fault in anything. And now I'm just like, but now,
a busy week. That's what it is. You're a bit
because I'm seeing you two, I'm now on the way up, and I'm getting happier.
Yeah.
Got a beer coming.
And it's podcast time, so I can just let go.
Got a 4-day weekend, maybe? Don't know.
We do.
I do actually have a 4-day weekend. And I was meant to be off all week next week. Unfortunately, now I've got to go to my grandfather's funeral, and then I'm offered to cover a night shift at work because it's a junior doctor's. No. Next day, next day, because it's the junior doctor strike. So obviously, we all have to pull together and make sure the patients are safe. But yeah, so next week hasn't played out
for the NHS because that'll solve it.
Yeah, man. If you keep clapping, apparently
you get more money.
It all goes into my wallet.
You get £1 per clap, mate. Yeah, and then the tax man takes it away.
Literally, when people start clapping for the NHS, it just like I can just hear the tinkling of the pounds.
You're lucky. I remember saying this last time. You actually got a clap.
Yeah, that's true.
No one clapped.
Social services did not.
We didn't get a clap. We got a pay freeze.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm getting all that anger out of my system.
No, it's good. This is what the podcast is for, is to channel that negative energy into content. And I think that's what we're here. That's what Push the Point is all about. Content.
Yeah.
Constant content.
Positive home news trip. You'll enjoy this. My D&D character seems to have become a clumsy NPC killer.
How
Ah.
did you manage that? Give us
Well,
give us a quick D&D story.
Oh,
Give us a
well,
little
not me
D&D
then.
tale.
Didn't want to tell
wrong
me.
place,
Go on
wrong
then.
time. So my Dragonborn sorcerer, our group was being followed by a traveling merchant who leapt out of the woods, and the ranger in our group decided to fire a warning shot. Rolled very badly, shot him in the shoulder. Another party member tried to remove the arrow, rolled very badly, pushed it in further, and then I thought I'll cauterize that wound with my dragon breath weapon. Rolled very badly, and burnt him to a crisp.
This
And
poor
the
guy was
DM's
like,
crying.
yeah.
It's
This,
like,
this,
And
this
then
poor
the
NPC
next
just
session,
went, I just wanted to give you some
Yeah.
pie.
he was selling tanned hides, so we've now got a.
Well, he's
crate-
got some tan hide. You got
we've
some
now
more
got a cart
from
full of
him.
tanned hides. And then in the next session, the immediate 2 weeks after that, a party member and I went into a shop, into a weapon shop, and when the shopkeep turned his back, we found the deck of many things,
The what?
and
The what?
the
It's a
deck of many things.
Oh, I thought you said
magical item.
Magic deck.
I thought you said something else. There.
Very
And,
dangerous magical item.
my party member friend managed to petrify themselves with the card, and as the shopkeep came back in to find us rifling through his things, I did what any reasonable person would do: picked up the top card blind and showed it to the shopkeep, and it was the card of ruin. So he lost every worldly possession he owned and then had a heart attack. Literally,
Wow.
literally all of the shop stock disappeared in front of us. The walls and the building disappeared, and I was left running away from a dead shopkeep with a statue of my party member friend through the city.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
what
well,
happens in
Simon,
D&D.
I'd say that's actually you rolled a 20 on luck there because you could have picked that up and looked at it yourself.
That's
but
true.
you went,
Very
no,
true.
you look like that. See, I
Very
knew it was
true.
a bad card.
Pick a card, any card.
You can have that one.
So,
Right. Okay.
Anyway,
well,
that
I didn't
makes
realize we
me
had
happy.
I didn't realize we had the Simon's D&D adventure segment, but I love that.
Yeah, it's new, but that was good.
I liked
yeah.
that. So
I'm quite new to D&D, and I still find it extremely exciting. And
Right,
I
well,
just
fine,
think
no
of Trip
beer.
whenever I think of D&D at the moment,
It's
because he
always
always has
exciting. It's always
good
exciting.
D&D stories.
okay. Well,
I haven't
you've
actually
missed the
played in a
clap.
while, but
You've missed it. Well,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
that
home
was the
news.
Simon's D&D adventures. There you go. Right. So now we're gonna do home news. Home
Okay.
news. Home news.
no, it's 3
Home
for home
news.
news, isn't it?
Yeah, get it right. Come on.
It was Indian news. Was only 2 claps, right? That was
Yeah.
the, it's hard to keep
No,
track.
well, we
of
don't know.
the,
Well,
yeah.
Indian news has been and gone.
Oh.
so-
Indian news. We don't have any.
No,
Let's go.
that's it. Moving on.
Segment over.
Oh.
Home news.
Okay, what's going on in India?
I actually have some home news.
Let's
Oh,
go.
wow.
Let's go.
Okay, go.
I kind of did something stupid.
Oh,
which I've
brilliant.
been
Good
paying
start.
for all day. So I had
To do
a
some exercise.
I had a Cadbury
You
egg.
got out of bed.
Kate got a Cadbury chocolate egg from like some ballet teaching that she did, and they gave her a Cadbury chocolate egg, but she doesn't really eat chocolate, so I get to eat the chocolate.
Have they?
And I didn't. I
Do we mean
put
a cream egg
chocolate-
or a chocolate?
No,
an
it was
Easter egg made by
an Easter
Cadbury's?
egg, like
Okay.
a hollow
Yeah.
chocolate
The
egg
good,
in
yeah,
tinfoil,
the
right?
good one.
And I keep chocolate in the fridge because I like chocolate to
You're
be
mental.
really,
Of course
really
you do.
cold.
No,
Yeah.
you're mental.
So no, that's fine. No, because there's disagreement in the Trip household about this
Yeah.
too. Like Kate thinks it's weird too.
Yeah,
I like it
it's
to
a
be
nice
very,
warm chocolate,
very-
but carry on.
I like it to be very, very cold and like
Mm.
you can break it off and it's not too. But I
Some
got the
people
egg
would
out
say
of the.
that's a family feud, but not Hamish. You don't have
Yeah.
a family Trip.
I don't have a family. So it's fine. People who are listening to
He's
this
got
for
a
the first
partner.
time.
Get it?
If
Come
you're
on.
listening to Press the Point for the first time, you're
Oh.
firstly like, what the hell is in
I'm gonna
News?
find.
And
I'm gonna
also,
find the shorts of the stupid stuff we
Trip
find.
does just not have a family, so yeah, we got to make that sure.
Okay.
Anyway, I got my Kate threw me my my very cold
She threw
Easter
it.
egg, and I caught it, and I was like, Kate, check this out. And I like to break up the Cadbury egg into lots of
Oh,
different
no.
pieces.
Did you
No.
smash it on your head?
I picked up the egg and I slammed it on my head, on my skull. And rather than like breaking into lots of different pieces in like a cracking noise, it just went thud. I really, I was like, oh, that really hurt. And then I woke up this morning with a really bad
Oh,
Oh, I tell you what, someone who claims with constant migraines. He's like, here we
Yeah, and I
go.
was like, I've got a migraine.
Boom.
And I took my medication. I was like, no, I've still got a headache. I felt my head and I've got a massive
oh no.
bump. I slammed this
Oh,
chocolate egg into my
Oh
skull.
my
I just
God.
assumed it would break. I was like, check this out. Trying to impress.
Did you put it in the
Dave.
freezer? By
Generally,
mistake.
probably the dumbest thing I've done.
For some
is
reason,
literally like bludgeoning
like-
myself to death.
for some reason in my head,
Got
I'm already
bludgeoned this year
substituting
in
the
Easter.
Cadbury's chocolate egg for a Terry's chocolate orange.
Yeah.
Like, can
I
you
mean,
imagine doing that to your head?
I think if it's a Terry's chocolate orange, I would do some serious permanent damage. I'm hoping I'm not done some
Oh.
permanent damage, but it really hurt.
Oh my God.
So I don't recommend doing that.
Oh my God.
I think I hit the seam. You know, there's a seam.
Yeah.
So I got like the hardest
Oh.
part.
Oh.
You know how like a regular egg,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
break
yeah,
easily
yeah,
from the
yeah.
side, but not from the top and the bottom. It was like that, and I just.
It's like that whole, you know, I don't know if you ever done this as a kid, but you saw in the movies that some guy would, when you're a teenager, I could crush a can with my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you and then you go, right, I'll show you. Ding! You're like, oh my God, and then you got a can head. You
You've
know,
done it where someone said they're gonna open a bottle
with their mouth and then they
with
chip
their
a tooth.
teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the time.
I did that once.
Did you chip a
Oh
tooth?
no.
No, I did it,
But did you?
and I couldn't believe it afterwards.
Oh, my teeth are like
Everyone was
milky.
like,
My teeth are
I
like
just went,
milky bars.
and
They
it
would
only
just like
worked.
melt off if I
I've
tried
got
it.
pretty rubbish teeth as well. I've never done
Oh.
it since. I've never dared. I don't remember how. I was very drunk. I don't remember how I did it, but I did it. It
Well,
could have been terrible.
you rolled a 20
But
and you
anyway.
opened it. Right.
Well, I rolled a 1 when I tried to
Come on.
crack that egg.
Okay.
Just roll a one.
I'm
You know
gonna.
when you
Come on,
you know
Hamish,
when you
what's your
you know
home
when
news?
you've hurt yourself. Sorry,
Yes,
you
Trip.
know when
We
you've
know
hurt
you've hurt yourself.
but you don't really want to tell anyone because you
really-
want to
yeah.
you don't want to
Just be
admit that
embarrassed.
you've been a complete moron.
Yeah.
So you've just
Anyway,
told
sorry.
every subscriber instead.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought it's for push the point
Yeah,
audience.
yeah,
You can have
absolutely.
that
It's like that time.
Hamish,
I have
you go
done a
ahead,
front
so.
flip on the trampoline once and landed because I used to be able to do it. Landed super funny and then went, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like I'm fucking broke
It's not
something.
fine. I'm not.
I'm not. I'm in
Not fine.
I'm in a lot of pain. My home news. My daughter.
Ugh.
So if you're probably listening to this, is going to be a really weird one. So with this podcast is really early compared to what it will when our normal time will come out. So this will be out. This is out like Friday the 14th, and the recording is on the 6th. So a while back. My daughter was 3 yesterday, so we had a busy day doing Freya's birthday stuff. Really weird actually. My son's birthday
She's
is around
3 years old.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant she was free.
She was
She'd
free.
been freed
Well, I don't know.
from captivity.
Yeah,
The
she
slave
is.
club that is
She's-
Hamish.
I thought
Yeah.
you meant like nursery.
Yeah, get to
maybe, but No,
work.
she's
Come on.
She's 3 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
No, she's 3 years old. My son's birthday is always around the time around how long my club has existed. So if we ever need to
Tell
know
you
how
when
long
you're
has our
23.
club existed, how old is Logan?
Okay.
And now we've got that for the podcast, sort of.
Yes.
When was the podcast out? When's Freya's birthday? It's around about then.
Yeah.
Minus a year. But yeah, we've been doing that. It's been really good. It's been really busy. Went to the Legoland Discovery Centre, where I spent a very long time getting extremely competitive with a dad who beat me with his Lego car. So I spent the next hour
Not physically. In a race, I think.
in a race, yeah, in a race. You
Yeah.
have the little ramp, press the button, thing goes down, off your cars go, and I was crushing these little kids, right? And then this dad showed up with this faster car. I spent the next hour neglecting my family and my daughter so I can
Win.
improve this crap car to
And did
prove
you?
a point. Yeah, and I even went. I did. And then
By that point, the other guy had left because he didn't realise he was in a competition.
yeah, and but I knew I was quicker because I checked. There's a little time score thing, and I clocked his time score, and mine was quicker, so we were able to leave the Lego Center.
Okay.
Look, right, you could be hitting your head. You can be hitting yourself on the head with chocolate, or you can be
Yeah.
doing something productive like beating random people in a Lego Discovery Center in Birmingham.
At least I had chocolate at the end of mine. You just had failure.
I know. I just had debt anyway.
It's fighting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I may have taken a month off my
You
estimated
took,
lifetime,
yeah, but I got chocolate.
but I got chocolate.
Right, beer time. beer
Yes,
time.
thank God for that.
Hamish, what are you
Jesus
drinking?
Christ.
Thank you, Simon. I actually look at this company with scorn because of you,
Oh.
and then you've kind of went back and said sorry. Sorry,
Be a Brewdog, right?
it's a Brewdog
Oh, it'll be
lost.
Brewdog. Yeah.
Yeah, I always keep thinking, Brewdog's an evil company that doesn't take care. They're like Ubisoft, right? And
They're the Ubisoft of the beer.
yeah, the Ubisoft of the beer world. And I thought Simon's like, oh god, if he doesn't like them, I should really like turn my nose up on them. But then Simon's like, no, they made it up to me.
I boycotted them for some time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I've got Brewdog lost.
Having been back into physical bars and spoken to staff in said physical bars, it would be unfair to take it out on them as well because they're just normal people trying to do their job.
What, the ones that you buy from Tesco? Does that help the bar staff out?
No, I go into the bars and drink. But anyway.
Yeah, okay. Right. Simon, what are you drinking?
Talking of which, it's a Brewdog beer that I got from Tesco.
Support those local brewsters.
That looks
it's
good.
Brewdog Black Heart.
Yeah, like in the name, they have a black heart.
It's their new draft stout, which is basically like Guinness.
Is it brewed
like
from the sorrows of their staff members?
And it's got one of those widgets in it, so it makes it all nitro.
Oh, is it what? Squash ball?
Yeah. So having tried this already, it's basically Guinness, but slightly different. It's 4.1% stout. Looks like a Guinness. They must be trying to get into like the sports market, the rugby, football, Guinness drinkers market.
Gotta give it a go, eh?
That's a tough market to crack, I'd say.
But yeah, it looks very pretty in a glass.
Wow. What about you, Tripster? Oh man, I've just said your name. That's weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Simon, but
Tripster.
No, I'd normally say some Orlando Bloom crap, but sorry.
Tripster's
he is looking very Orlando Bloom with the
mustache
goatee
back in it. Yeah. Well,
come on, Troy. What about you?
They call it a beard. I've just got a Kronenberg today. I've
Wow.
finished all my good beers. So I'm on this really.
You on
It's
the co-op?
tasty. It's probably my favorite. Maybe not my favorite, but
which
one of my
local
favorites.
Supermarket did you get that from?
I got it as a Sainsbury's online delivery. I got a box
There you go.
a week ago. Just sort of finishing it up. But I've not got any decent beers in the fridge at the moment, and I'm going home for Easter this weekend, so maybe I'll pick something good up.
This is actually the last of my Christmas beers now. It's fully done. Right, should we do some fab talk?
Before we do that,
here we go.
I just had
Simon Classic. And before we do
really
that,
weird memory. Kronenberg's a French beer, right?
Oh,
did you ever go?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to France as a kid? Like go on the booze cruise, like across the channel to the hypermarket and bring back those little stubby little bottles?
No,
we grew up in Kent. No. You didn't. No. So you'd get those little 200ml stubby bottles of French lager.
They were decent.
What is this Phoenix? Is this Phoenix Nights all over again?
I was a bit young, Simon. So I mean, we're not that different in age.
No, I mean, I didn't drink the beer. My parents did, but
the little 33 centiliter, or they weren't even.
I've actually got them.
They were like 200ml, 20 centiliter bottles.
Stubbies.
Stubbies. Yeah, stubbies.
They were great. They were tasty though. But yeah, booze cruises don't really exist because the pound does not really worth much anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
Now, should we talk about some flesh and blood?
So, what's been going on?
Well, okay. Well, I think one of the things we should actually drop and highlight, where we are actually going to do after a long period of time, we're going to be doing the What's Hot, What's Not segment.
Whoop.
It's been some time, everyone. I think it's a good time to do it.
Many an episode we've resisted the temptation, but you think it's
resisted every time I bring it up. You go, no, next one.
Yeah, I'm very good at resisting it. And now I'm ready to cease resisting and do a What's Hot, What's Not.
This is your segment. You know that. This is your idea.
Yeah, this was
all those many moons
ago.
This is
the OG trip idea that's actually stuck.
Well,
you came up with home news. I came up with What's Hot, What's Not. Simon came up with having an agenda for these podcasts.
Simon came up with Indian news.
Indian news, the best segment we've ever had.
Simon's bit is to really detail his beer. The beer segment is real.
Keep us on track.
I actually enjoy the beer segment. I enjoy what you guys are drinking.
So we're going to do a What's Hot, What's Not, and kind of really. I tell you what, actually,
You know what?
I
We
think
should
it'll be really good.
celebrate.
I think we should actually talk a little bit about the hardships of being a content creator.
Oh,
hardships?
Jesus Christ!
Well, no,
Really?
I don't know. I just saw a little bit of
Oh,
because
bring the tone down.
I saw
I was ready
Az's.
to be hot. Now
Or
I'm
not.
not,
I
and
was
now
ready
I
to
have
be
to think
not.
about my emotion.
No, all right, whatever, or not then.
No.
I saw.
Before-
Oh, I'll tell you what, right?
do it,
I'm
Hamish.
Trip. You're so miserable, right?
What? I'm just.
I
You're
say
the
one
one
thing and
being
you're like,
oh.
no, not the
I know.
Hamish,
hardships.
I
but-
agree. We should we should touch on that subject. But what we should preface this with is we hit a milestone in YouTube subscribers this week.
We did.
Oh yeah, 1250, right?
Yeah, I don't know why that's a milestone. It's just a nice round number.
That's it's a big number.
Yeah, we're a quarter of the way to 2,000.
What
Yeah,
you,
road to 2K.
Road to 2K.
what you may have noticed, dear listener, is that we have been, Hamish has been making a real effort to put out a lot of content for our channel and dragging Trip and I along with him.
Isn't that always what happens?
Yeah.
But you've really stepped up.
I don't know. I had a claw grabber
line.
so I can put my phone to it. So I was like,
and to be honest, we were stuck. We were stuck on a certain subscriber level, and since we've been getting out 3 videos or more a week, like YouTube algorithm seems to be promoting us a little bit more, and we've jumped a few subscribers. So good work, man.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone, including you boys, for just subscribing, supporting, pushing, come up with ideas, and as much as it seems like I'm on the front doing a lot of stuff, I get a lot of boost and encouragement from everyone, and these boys sort of keep in line my sort of the workload, because if they didn't, I swear to God, I think I'd actually explode of
you
death.
need someone to be like.
I've been really enjoying answering questions to my Katsu Deck Tech on the comments.
Well,
there's been some really nice feedback on that.
The reason I wanted to bring it up is because I saw Az's when we've been given a notification from Legend Story Studios a couple of days ago, which would have been about over a week ago now since you've seen it, and we're going to get a parcel. We'll probably know what that parcel is by the time this episode comes out. But I got some other UK content creators, or just other content creators in general. It's quite frustrating, really, to just go, what do we do? Like, how do we get the recognition? And I think we are in a very actual genuinely good spot to talk about what it's.
It wasn't that long ago that we were there.
Well, it really wasn't, no. And we've been doing this for 2 years. And I think it's just, if anyone wants to make some content for Flesh and Blood, or in generally anything, I think we were in a good spot to say, what makes you want to do it? Because we did it for literally a year and a half with no backpacking. You know what I mean? Or
I'm trying to remember when
backpatting. Yeah, you know.
We got we didn't get Push the Point really didn't get much recognition for a very long time.
No.
No official recognition from LSS.
Oh, no,
we got a lot of community feedback, and I think that was why we were happy to carry on. Actually, is because we were getting a lot of good community feedback. But I think something, Trip, you've said in the past really sticks with me, and I think new content creators should listen to this piece of advice, and that's, if you're going to do this, you do it for your own enjoyment. No one else. Like, you have to enjoy what you're doing. One, because it comes across that you enjoy it, and therefore I think it presents a better product. But 2, because there may be a long time before anyone comes and pats you on the back, like Hamish says, and if you can't enjoy it, then it's not going to be something you'll stick at.
You need to know what your success is, like what success is for you as well. Like, you need to have levels of success too. Like, your success, one of your successes might be getting a spoiler, right? But if you just focus on that, and you don't have anything between what you're doing now and that point, you're going to be disappointed for a very long time, because getting a spoiler is really competitive. LSS is always trying to like broaden the scope of that, and that doesn't necessarily mean bringing in new Flesh and Blood creators. It means also approaching non-Flesh and Blood creators, and you've got to be aware of that too. And it's like, you need to make sure that you have what your next immediate success is, not just your, you know, like your moonshot success, right? Like your ultimate aim. Like you know, if you're not getting like 100 views on your videos, be like, well, my next success is I want to get like over 100 views on this video, or I want to get like 10 comments on this video, or I want to see really good engagement, or really good like people sharing something or talking really positive. I think a really good example of a content uh, creator, or more like a community member, is the guy behind Legendary Stories, which is the
Oh,
website.
Alex.
Oh,
He
Nathan
brings,
Roy.
Yeah, sorry.
Roy, he takes the lore on the LSS website and puts it on a website that's a lot more accessible, a lot easier to search through and find all the stories and all the bits and snippets of lore. I've seen that grow. It's taken him
Yeah.
a lot of work, really long road, but now you start to see him, being mentioned by lots of different
Yeah.
creators across the world, like getting the recognition that he
Especially when
deserves
all
for
the
the work he's
flavor
doing.
text chat came out as well.
Yeah, and like it'd be interesting to chat about, like we should probably interview him at some point. It's like interesting to see like what he wanted, like what was
Yeah.
he like. He wanted to create a good resource and went about it, and now he's like, well, what more can I be doing with this? And I think that's
So
my advice. Yeah.
do you want to know what I think was a turning point for us as a group and a podcast? Because I think about this a little bit, and I think for the first year and a bit we were going from week to week talking about what we enjoyed, doing it because we enjoyed catching up, and we enjoyed watching the subscriber count tick up and the videos do well, and the deck techs especially. And then we did an interview with someone else called Ursula, who we also interviewed back on our podcast.
Yeah.
And she works in sports in psychology, and does a lot of coaching for esports and the Polish Fab team. And we did an interview for her, as in we were interviewed by her, and she came out with some really interesting questions about what success looks like to us and what we want to do in the future. And I think we came away from that thinking, well, actually, I hadn't really thought about it, but now I've given some very like open answers that came to mind immediately, and this is how we want to take this forward. And since then, Hamish has been on an absolute tear, like going off and getting interviews done and speaking to people and networking to people. And Trip has got back into some of the law side of things, and making his own series about Sealed. And I think it just made us ask questions of ourselves, what we wanted from this. And the immediate thing was casting, because it wasn't long after that we were presented with certain opportunities. So yeah, I think that was a real turning point for us.
I think so. I think weirdly enough, I actually was through all this also had a thought as well that the one thing we're actually committed, this is a point, I think, right? The one thing we're committed to do is probably the most least successful videos we do currently. Does that make sense? Like our podcast, in terms of ratings, in terms of views, in terms of everything, in terms of YouTube, is some of our consistently it's our consistent weakest ones. But it's also the one thing we we love to do the most, right? And I think that when you're doing content, you kind of got to just set a thing that you're going to say, I'm going to do this because I genuinely enjoy doing it. Whether it does well or not, the one thing I enjoy to do, I'm going to do
your brand identity.
Pretty much. And ours is, we're three dudes that meet up and drink beer and talk about Flesh and Blood. That's it. And then we just kind of go from there, right? And then you just try new ideas out. Just try something new out. Get the camera going. If you've got a cool idea, just do it. And that's basically what I do. I have an idea and I just roll with it and do it. I hear a thing and I go, or maybe this is just me and my nature, but I hear some cool concept or idea and then I go, oh, I really want to talk about it, but I don't want to do just a filming of me, which is the easiest thing to do. Film me, record the website, and just talk, which is, if you can't interview someone, do that. It is a lot better. or easier to do. But I like to go and grab someone that actually has a good idea about what they're going to talk about, whereas I'm just feel like I'm going to ramble, so I'm going to interview and do that. One of the guys, which is called Mads, he's a dude from Denmark
Mads
who
Pedersen.
tweeted, yeah, that's it, Mads, was it?
Pedersen.
Yeah. He tweeted out this amazing idea, which now got me just the creative juices flowing of you should do a deck tech that, like, I did the starter deck tech stuff and I was really proud of them. I loved it. But then people were giving sort of comments going, I think this could have been improved in this way and whatever. And then he just went, why don't you just do a deck tech that falls into an upgrade that follows into the actual, fully fledged version you want to see this hero be like? And then I just went, yeah, that sounds cool. And then my head went, like Heart Attack. And then my head just came in, and I just thought, amazing, that's a cool video where I just grab a hero.
That's not
and then
Heart Attack, mate.
What?
That's something else.
No, that's Heart Attack.
Isn't that EastEnders?
Dude, seriously, go. No.
Dude, that's what you were doing.
No, that's how Heart Attack starts. That's
not what you did before.
That's it. That's right. I did that.
I was like, wait a second.
But anyway, so
welcome everyone to niche British television references.
That's Heart Attack. That's Heart Attack.
No, that's not Heart Attack.
That's not Heart Attack. Simon, it is.
What my version? Before Heart Attack. That was Tony Hart.
Well, whatever.
No. Mine was mine's proper Heart Attack.
That's the one I'm.
Okay. Well, anyway,
maybe she's talking about Heart Attack with Neil Buchanan.
Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much just. I just want to go off and do it. I have absolutely no idea whether the actual video will do well or not, right? But it's just the enjoyment of creating, putting it out there. And you've got to do a bit of work. You've got to go on the socials. You've got to plug what you're doing. You've got to reply to what people are doing. You've got to network. And then by networking and communicating with people, you get seen. And then all it, like, there's a content creator who does Market Watch. I think his name was
Stacks.
Stacks. I did not know anything about Stacks, and then all of a sudden he was just putting out some work, and James White went, I like his stuff. And everyone went, who's this guy? And then all of a sudden, boom. All it takes is just someone to just say this stuff.
Someone like the owner of the company that we're playing a game.
Oh, James White is a big advocate for sure, but then there's been times where people, I've been listening to other content creators just say, I really enjoyed this person's work. And just because they said it and you're listening to their stuff, you know what I mean? You got to network. You got to just do it and enjoy what you're making.
I wanted to jump in because I think I agree with what Hamish is saying. And
no way.
I also, because I think what like Simon was saying, like what was the point where we sort of started to really take off? And I think what Simon's saying is true. Like I think that interview is when we started to realize a lot more of what we wanted. But I mean, some people might not particularly like this, but I think, to be honest, I think when we really started to pick up was when me and Hamish just started going really ham on Twitter.
Yeah, that really did help.
Realistically, a lot of and I know a lot of people don't like Twitter. I'll be honest with you, I don't like Twitter.
No, Twitter has affected my mental health.
But the trouble is, that's where all the content creators are. And like, if you want to know what's happening with like who's currently the person that's you should be sitting up and taking.
Twitter actually promotes
where it happens.
Yeah, Twitter puts you as the point, if that makes sense. Whereas Facebook it does like a big community group. It's like a big notice board of stuff where you don't really notice an individual person. It's just a big group of people talking. Whereas Twitter, you follow the person because they've got something to say. Whereas in Facebook, you haven't got a choice about who's saying on it.
And the thing with Twitter as well is it recommends stuff for you. And I mean, recently the recommendation stuff has gone off the rails, but it will you will see tweets of people talking about Flesh and Blood that you don't follow, and that's so important for a new creator. Like suddenly you're being mentioned and people are seeing what you're doing, and you're not even having to find the audience. It sort of does it for you.
It is a big thing. I will say it's huge.
I would be relatively confident saying, and this is kind of sad, but I think you kind of do need to be doing a bit of stuff on Twitter I mean, there's chances you could break through without it, but maybe if you're really active on the Discords or you're active on another
Yeah,
social
maybe not
media.
Or you just
specifically Twitter, but Instagram or Twitter
Yeah,
or Reddit or one of the big social
maybe. I think you've got to.
platforms.
There's some content creators like Three Floating that just came out with. They just came in gold, right? You know, they had this vision about what they wanted to make, and just went, "We're gonna do this," which is
Aren't
really different.
isn't one of those the guy from Cobra Kai? Like,
Well, I didn't realize that was, but then even so, like
he was at Worlds, right?
he was, but I
Yeah.
did, but he never actually said, "I'm the guy from Cobra Kai.
No,
I'm
I
Cobra
know,
Kai
but
guy. I'm doing
everyone
a thing."
else said it for him. Like,
Yeah, sort.
he's
But then,
quite a famous dude.
but he came. I think they just came in with a Twitter, made one video.
Yes.
That video
Yeah.
hit 3K. Just one video. They hit 1,000 subscribers off one video because it was like
the
it was.
content was great.
It
Wasn't
was just
Well made.
really well made. So did they need to make this big Twitter thing to build? No, they just went. We had an amazing vision. Luck had it, smashed it through the park. They did a fantastic job on one thing. They got all the
Well-
right big names to push it as well.
So yeah, I'm gonna say it's not like anyone can make a fantastic video and that can flop. Like as you said earlier, Hamish, some of the videos which we love don't do as well as some of the videos that we've
Our
just
best stuff is unseen. Yeah.
and I think it does help. And I'm not saying their success is solely down to any one factor, but it does help if one of your members has a large following elsewhere, and you can then cross-link
Oh, even
your
Alex
production.
from Tales of
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
what
yeah,
was,
yeah.
Or Findell's. Was it? What was it?
Oh,
What was his old
it's now
channel?
Tales of Alex, isn't
Tales
it?
of Alex. Yeah, but he came in with like when he was doing the German nationals in 20, and he did like this big story documentary. He never actually had
Naval
a big
Academy.
following.
That was
Naval
it.
Academy, that was it. And he came in with just a vision and good committedness to make these videos really impressive to watch. And that carried him over. And then he just said, "I'm going to make a Twitter thing." Do you know what I mean? So I think there is some, and
but to be
Arsenal
clear, he
Pass,
put
and
in a-
everyone was going, "Oh, look, check this out, check this out, check this
He
out."
put in a huge amount of Alex put in a huge
Yeah.
amount of work for very little reward from anyone but himself. If
That's
that
the
makes sense.
main point of why we do
Like-
any of it, isn't it?
All of
All
this
of
you can
this.
come back to. Don't expect to make money. Don't expect to get fame and fortune. You just have to enjoy and take pride in what you do.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. And that one kind of
totally.
goes out to one or two of the UK community members who didn't get a package or anything coming from LSS and felt a little bit, had this moment. So they're back on it, which is fine. But they had a moment of, you know, the Twitter's great for publishing, but it's also a kick in the teeth when you see it. Well, it's a kick in the teeth when you're hearing people go, "Look how great and lucky I am," which that's what you got to do. You got to tweet and push and what's going on in your space. And then you have this moment of looking at it going, "Oh, must be nice, mate." You know what I mean? And then you have these moments of just looking back of oh.
It's about being again.
That's
it's
when you
tough,
need to
but
check yourself.
You have
Check the
to ask
point.
you have to think to yourself as well. Like the people, the UK content creators are all making great content. I truly believe that. Like and lots of different regions as well. You have to think to yourself: does LSS know what I'm doing? And because ultimately, if you want the LSS stuff, they need to know what you're doing. And a lot of what we've done is to put us in a position where we are being mentioned. Like when people are saying, what podcast should I listen to? And they say, "Oh, I really like Push the Point." Don't think that LSS isn't seeing that. They've got like a social media person that is checking social media and is seeing who is being spoken about, who is being mentioned. Like it's not like they just don't watch. You see James White lurking around. You see the occasional James.
The other one
White,
that gets his likes.
I don't know what did he like for me. I can't remember what it was.
Because you're like his mini me.
He's listening. He of course he's
he
listening.
wants to know what his son's up to.
Imagine you made one of the best trading card games, top 4 trading card game of all time. Of course he's on Twitter. He might not be liking or necessarily commenting, but he's reading it.
Yeah, he has a little peruse.
I mean, you would want to know what people are saying about your product, right?
Yeah.
And then you see, people are raving about this new, like, law resource, or this new channel with the guy from Cobra Kai, or this new video that everyone's hyped about. It's about getting into there, and that's hard, right? Like,
It is
don't get me wrong,
hard.
it's hard to get
'Cause
into,
everyone's trying
like,
to get in there.
there. Yeah, that's what
And
everyone
then
wants.
when you do finally break through and you do get recognition, whether it's a spoiler or a giveaway or a favorable package to like compete for, like whatever it is that you get, take it and run with it. Like look at what Trip and Hamish did with our 2 spoilers so far. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's a legendary, majestic, common, rare, whatever card, you just put every bit of creativity and effort you have into that 3-minute, right? And no joke, guys, like no joke, listeners, these 2 put in so much effort over like a 3 to 4 week period before that preview card was released. If you could have seen like the blood, sweat and tears, the number of edits that went in, the number of back and forth, like, what about this music, what about
we
this
enjoyed
scene?
but that's the biggest point overall. Just before we get into what's hot, what's not, we enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it. We didn't even give a shit what the card was. We were just like, fuck, this is so
just
cool.
like, I've got it.
We literally just made some script up based on the card art. No, it didn't matter what the card did or what it.
It's like being in a band and writing a song. That band ain't getting onto fucking Glastonbury, are they? No. What are you going to do? You're going to meet up at practice and make some music and probably play this occasionally at some pub for 4 people. That's what content creation is. And then eventually you just get better at writing. You get better at doing it. You enjoy creating the thing. And then you go to do more gigs, which is just us putting more content out there. And eventually people go, I've had that band.
And work out what it is you enjoy.
Yeah.
Because you might think that what you enjoy is are you doing this because you want to get stuff? Like, and I don't mean that in a harsh way. Like, I mean that, like, you might trick yourself into thinking
you're not.
What I'm doing isn't as good because I'm not receiving the same thing that another content creator is getting. But that's like a really difficult path to go down, because sometimes it's just not fair. Like, it's luck, like, or privilege.
We know
or just
that.
having the right connection. Like,
we know that.
It's just the way it goes. So focus on what, like, for me, it's like what Hamish was saying, is like, we enjoy it. It's like, when we're making the video, we are enjoying it, and it's hard and it's tricky. But the thing that I want is when it goes live and we're sitting there watching the live commentary of people reacting to the video, and that makes it. That is what
instantly worth it.
That's what makes it
every bit of it.
That's uncomparable. Seeing people's reaction to what you've made and them loving it. That's
makes 100%.
I don't care about anything else. But
I really don't. Like that moment was of those 2 spoiler videos and seeing, like, especially the first one, and then some dudes going, "Oh, we're in Seoul. They've got some, they got this stuff," and we're like, "We know." And then the eclipse thing comes up, and everyone goes, "Oh shit! Oh my god! What's this voice?" And then it drops, and everyone's like, "Fucking hell, that was heavy!" And you're like, "Yeah." That was it.
And then it's over, and no one's talking about it.
No, that's it. You're done.
But that's it. It's a moment that you'll never forget. Like, and that's, if that's, you got to decide what that moment is for you. Like, what is it as a content creator? What is that moment to you? And focus on that. Don't focus on the stuff.
Right.
Because it's not.
What's
a lot of work.
What's not? Okay.
Sorry. We'll end it there.
Okay.
It's a lot more work than you think, guys.
So
have you got it lined up? Have you got the jingle?
I can definitely edit this in Spotify. But trying to find this jingle for YouTube is hard work. But I'm determined to quickly
just do the voice.
I know, but I feel like no one in YouTube really knows what the jingle is, and I'm desperate.
We're not done one in a while.
No, that's true. Hold on.
I was just going to say, also, just to fill in the gap, you might look at the views on the podcast on YouTube. Just remember, it's available on Spotify and iTunes as well. So we do get a lot of views there too.
Okay, here we go.
Not as good as the deck text though.
Here we go. You guys won't hear it, but YouTube will. For the noise. What's hot? And what's not? Welcome to What's Hot, What's Not, everyone. Oh god, you should have phase out.
How we going to run through this? Are we going to do just the new heroes? Are we going to do?
There you go. That's our jingle. Thanks, Sean Bugalugs.
Was it still going?
No,
It's
that's
still going?
It's really
We've got
loud.
15 minutes, realistically.
We can smash this out with 19 heroes.
I think we can smash out.
Okay, start. We're going to go quick. We're going to go because if we do this really well, we can make this into a short.
Let's go for the old heroes quickly,
Okay.
and then we'll spend a bit more time on the new.
Welcome to Wraith, Dorinthia, Trip, go.
Not hot.
Simon,
Not hot.
Not that hot. Bravo.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
not hot.
I don't know. I'm gonna say.
Oh God, no, not you and lukewarm Bravo.
Sorry.
Right.
I might
Not hot,
say...
Simon.
He's like this every time.
No,
Not
hot.
hot.
Hot. I think hot.
I'm gonna
I think
say
Bravo's
hot. I'm gonna say hot.
Bravo's hot. Okay.
Yeah.
Reinar.
Not
Not
hot.
hot.
Except
Not
in
hot.
Blitz when it's quite good.
I think he's always hot. Anyway, who was the last one?
Just in case I'm
Katsu.
in.
Should we? No, let's save Katsu for the end. Let's save all outsiders.
Why? Let's start with the old ones and then
let's do them all
Okay.
together. Do them all together.
Okay, right,
Up.
okay. So now we're on to Arcane Rising Viscerai. Not hot. But I don't know.
Hotter than people think.
Okay, he's just
But
the
not as
same.
hot as forever.
He's just the same.
Not hot, I think.
No,
No.
he's not hot. Azalea
Dash.
and Icelander. No. Oh God, Dash is forever.
Oh, Dash is not hot.
Dash isn't hot.
No,
Dash is
I saw
not
another
hot.
tier list where suddenly Dash was tier.
Dash
is
is
it actually a
S-tier.
meme? Have I missed this as a meme? Every set,
Dash
Dash is tier 1 when people. I'm just like, what?
every
No.
tier list, they just turn around. Someone just got Dash, hurt them, and they went, "Okay,
Right,
yeah, it is
stop
S tier."
I know.
Yeah, I don't understand. Every time,
No,
literally
Trip.
every time, I
Trip.
try to get it.
Stop.
Okay,
Kano.
Kano. I think he's hot. I don't care.
Not hot.
I mean, by his very nature, he's hot, but not in CC now. Like, I don't know.
Oasis Respite is a thing, I suppose.
It is a thing.
And who is the last one? Oh my God, it's Azalea.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
same-
we're
same
saving her
Azalea
till the
thing.
end as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Whatever you want. So,
Chain. She's gone.
Prism.
Not hot 'cause
Prism.
Prism.
She's
Not
gone
hot.
too.
Oh,
Coming back
yeah.
soon to a Dust Till Dawn till near you.
Okay.
Leviah.
Bolton.
Oh no, we'll do Leviah.
No, not hot.
Not hot. Never will be. Well,
No,
maybe.
not hot.
Bolton.
Not hot.
Hot.
Not hot, mate.
he's hot.
No, come on.
Come on. No, he is hot. Just,
No,
He
he's
can't be hot because no one plays him except for you,
well, I like seeing people rage quit.
and you're only going to one RTN, so
Two.
case closed. Oh,
So
you're
if
going to
anyone
two?
has any
Okay,
Rainbow
oh.
Foil Monarch light cards, just hit Hamish up and send them his way.
I'm almost in the process of getting my extended Luminaris, Luminar Ascension cards now. All three. I'm on the process of getting them now.
Very good. All right.
Um,
What we got
no,
next?
by the way, he isn't really that hot, but I think he's hot. Anyway, so we are moving on to the Tales of Aria.
Tales of Aria.
Oldham. Oh, he's hot, right? It's got to be
He's
hot.
hot.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
still.
you
He's
never not
ice
be.
cold.
Lexi, hot.
Very hot.
I
I think she comes in as a very hot because I think she wasn't very hot. She's had like a big jump.
She's
So,
huge.
and
now.
I would
I'm only
definitely-
saying
Codex of
hot.
Frailty.
I'm only saying hot by comparison. It's like when
Yeah,
someone
no.
hangs out with
Simon, we don't
a
want to hear your
not hot
podcast.
person.
I think Lexi is really good.
Okay.
I think she's hot.
Fair
I
to
think-
middling.
Yeah.
Okay,
Luke's
but we
got
didn't
all
give
the
any of this
cards
treatment to Drink
Briar.
or anyone. All right, Briar. Mm.
I think Briar's still hot.
Briar's
Weirdly.
fine.
I
Actually,
think
wait,
Briar's
no.
hotter than people think. Give and take as a card.
Yeah, it's true. I don't see why Channel Mount Heroic, Briar
Yeah.
is not hot. So,
Yeah.
pretty much is
Hot.
Channel Mount. Briar. If Channel Mount Heroic went, Briar is dead.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
She's still not living legend though.
Will be, I think.
Uprising.
Fi. Ooh, not hot.
Wait, have I missed something in the middle there? What have I
No,
missed?
we've Tales of Aria
No,
only had
you're
3. Oh no,
Everfest.
we had Starvo. He's
Missed
Yeah,
out.
he's dead.
so he's been in con. And then we have Uprising, which is now Fi.
Not hot.
Not hot. So-
Ice-
Why is
Icelander?
that? No, hang on. Quick
I know
question.
it's weird, right?
Why is Fi not hot? Is it because of
I just-
Azalea
Zalia just mega fucks him.
and Icelander?
I think Fi was
and
already
Bravo.
dropping. I think Fi was already dropping off.
He-
I think the belittle hit was really
Chris hit
big.
big. He
He
offers
did hit really
he
big.
offers damage consistently, but in neat coverable, like no breakpoints, right?
I think Katsu just out aggro's him a bit now as well.
I think there's been.
Too
I
many
think there's
spoilers
actually
for
too
Katsu,
We'll come
many.
back to Katsu.
So maybe.
Um,
Oh yeah, he's not in a good spot.
Icelander.
Icelander.
hot.
Hot. Why
Yeah,
not?
very hot.
Yeah,
think
no, she
Icelander's
just
really
needs to
good.
adapt. She just needs to
And
adapt.
I
She's
think
hot.
people
maybe.
underestimate Icelander always.
She's a
Like, I think
control-
maybe
Icelander
not
can
the
change things up.
wounded bull build anymore. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I think she
think
just needs to
that's-
adapt.
I think that's the point. I think we can spend a little bit of time talking about Icelander. I think that's the thing about Icelander is she can change things up quite a bit, and
Yeah.
I think that that adaptability is going to do her a lot of good. And
And
I
she's
would
got
not
Storm
underestimate.
Striders. So
Storm
I
Striders
know,
is the best
it's
card
hot
in the
card.
game. I actually think Storm Striders is the best card.
that's what
in
the only
game.
reason why I said Kano's hot is because of Storm
Yeah,
Striders.
but I think
Storm
Icelander
Striders is
just
a
has
thing.
so much more depth and than Kano.
Kano's is a combo deck, I imagine. All right. Anyway,
Dromai.
Dromai hot.
Dromai's hot.
Dromai's in a real hot spot right now.
I think
No.
Dromai's really
No,
good.
if the
No.
meta is what it is, if the meta is Icelander, Oldhim, and any ranger, why would you not take Dromai?
I think now
'Cause of
Fi's
Katsu.
dropped off as
But
well.
Katsu's
But I
not
don't.
real.
I think Fi and Katsu have pretty dropped off, and I think that's going to let Dromai just go crazy. I think you'll do fine. Don't get me wrong. But
I think
I
Dromai's in a good spot and just needs to recognize what good. But Dromai is a control hero, and the control heroes need to know what they're controlling.
But Dromai is also aggro, right? Like,
Oh
I
no,
mean,
that's not. That's a joke though. Let's be real.
deck. Like I think you can't. I think loads of people will run that because it's easy, right? It does
Yeah,
a
but
lot
it's
of
not
damage.
good.
It's the,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
they're not
no,
good
it's-
with it.
But yeah, but you can't just be like, I'm just going to discount that this deck exists.
No.
when
All right.
It's really
so no,
accessible.
that's
like,
that's
it's like
fair.
the Fi situation all over again. It's like it's easy to play.
But Fi
it gets
is only
wins,
one
you'll see it
deck.
loads.
Fi is only aggro. Dromai could be aggro, can be control.
Yeah, that's why I'm. You literally just said Dromai is control. I said it's
I love
also
these
aggro,
discussions.
and now you're coming back to me saying, well, "Did you know that Dromai is control and aggro?" What is this?
Oh, shut up.
What is this? This is what's hot, what's not in a nutshell.
Bring it on.
But
Right.
I say something, and then you come back to me with what I said, as if it was.
All right, Jamie, carry on.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Hot.
Dromai's hot.
Red hot.
Yeah, fine. And where are we now? Arachne.
Riptide.
No, Arachne.
Right. Okay. We can spend a bit of time now.
Okay,
we're on Outsiders.
Arachne is not hot.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, Arachne.
He's not.
old
I like it. We
Arachne.
forgot about him. He's the
I think
coolest
he's-
looking hero, but he's just
Genuinely
not
a
hot.
mistake. Genuinely a mistake. Don't think they should have printed a hero that means you have to touch your opponent's cards. And I know you can ask them to show it to you, but I just think dumb. Don't think.
But
the
that's
hero
why
should be in
they.
the game.
That's why they changed him in Outsiders.
Yeah,
right?
I know. What was the point? It just seems like they printed
No.
a bunch of cards that make you have to touch your opponent's deck, and I think everyone hates that.
no,
So,
I don't know.
I feel grumpy
shit.
now. I feel like the grumpiness has spread from Simon to
Well,
me.
yeah,
Whenever
it's
we
an
talk about
infected. It's an infected
Arachne,
host.
I just think
It's a
it's so
blood rock
annoying that they
box.
printed all of these interesting
You're
cards
making this
and then
short
just didn't
difficult.
follow up with anything else. Is this going to be a short? You're going to
Well, I was
short
gonna
fire this or
try.
something? Oh, good luck. 1 minute, mate. Have fun.
Yeah.
I can talk. I talk for longer than 1 minute in one sitting.
No, I know. You want to say one thing.
Not hot, and I don't like the hero in general. I think they
not
could have-
hot. Hero's really cool.
Not hot.
No,
Um,
I like the concept, but I don't like the way it works.
Okay, Riptide.
Not hot.
No,
Not yet
I'm
hot.
I
willing
don't
to
know.
say it.
He's a
I'm
weird
willing to
one.
say it. I'm willing to
He
say
isn't
it.
hot
I don't
currently.
think he's hot. I love the hero. I think he's really interesting. I love the concept. I don't
having a
think it's hot.
not yet hot.
He-
Having a
he's the
mechanism where
weakest-
you can reload your own arsenal.
He's got an incredibly strong hero ability,
great.
but at the minute, I think he's the weakest ranger, and ranger is hot, and that's why he isn't. Because if you're
Ranger's
going to pick up a
right.
ranger, why would you not pick up Azalea or Lexi? Because Azalea's doing a dominate package, Lexi's
I
doing
think
his
this is
hyper
a-
aggro package, and Riptide's this middle ground.
I think this is a false dawn. I do not think Ranger is super hot.
Oh,
I think-
all right, Mr. Katsu.
Says the Katsu.
Yeah,
player,
says the
yeah.
Katsu player that hates playing against them.
I don't
Oh,
know.
look
I
at
really
you,
love playing-
side ducking everyone.
I really love playing against Ranger right now. Like, it's just a fun matchup.
Yeah, it's
But I don't
really
think we're
fun. I
super
love
hot.
getting hit with red in the ledger.
I just
Makes
wanna-
my day.
just to focus on, because I'm sure we will cover this when we talk about Katsu, but for Riptide,
I'm annoying
And
Simon now.
I know that we shouldn't be talking about future metas, but I just don't really see when Riptide becomes good.
No,
Because
I
if they
disagree
do
with
bring-
that.
If they do bring back like a Prism-like hero, I'm just not sure what Riptide does into that match.
Well, that's Ranger, isn't it? In general, any Ranger dealing with the
But-
losers
yeah,
is
but-
having a miserable time.
I
Only
that
Riptide
is
just
very
gets-
true. but
Just kills through defending. Like, he does damage when he defends.
Yeah,
Like,
but if your opponent's just got
He needs one of.
spectral shields and stuff, I just
but
don't
they're
really
still attacking.
understand.
No, he's got an
I just don't really
impressive
get it.
He's got an incredibly impressive hero ability. Probably
Yeah.
like his hero ability is
It is.
really,
So it is,
really
yeah.
good.
The reload bit.
Yeah, that's incredibly strong.
The defense react bit is good, but it's the reload bit which I think is the most impressive bit.
He just needs a few. He just needs a slight, maybe just needs like one. He's like almost probably like one or two like impressive cards away that might just sort of hone in a little bit more what he wants to do. But even if he doesn't have that, I still think he's actually a pretty darn good hero that could get into a top 8, but probably not win the event.
I hate that as a like, I could get a top 8.
No,
Anyone
but like
can
in
get a
I
top
think
8. If I can get a top 8, any hero in this game can get a top 8.
All right, no, but I think he's not Garbo. He's actually a fine ranger, but he's just the question of why would you not take Azalea or or Lexi? That's it.
Or if you want to play a blocking deck, why don't you just play Alden?
No, but I don't think you don't think you play a blocking deck. He plays a disruptive deck he's disruptive. He's disruptive in the opponent and off the opponent's turn.
It's not that disruptive though.
That's probably the point. It's not that disruptive.
It's like a control deck without a weapon.
Oh no! Well, we're not. We've got to do
Azuri. We moved on.
Azuri.
I thought we were doing rangers, then assassins, then.
No. You decided you're going to put Azalea and Katsu last
for
some fuck reason. So okay, Azuri. Azuri.
I love what's hot, what's not. It's so good.
Yeah, I know. Because we have no idea what we're going to say.
Brings out the best side of all of it.
Azuri. I think she's overblown. God, is that bad?
She has like the newness of her. Makes you want to make her hot.
She's hot.
She is.
No, I think she's hot because she's actually a pretty good hero to deal with some control aspects of the game.
I'm going to put this out there.
All right.
If Dorinthia is not hot, Azuri is not hot.
No, Azuri does something different though. Azuri actually is actually putting attack reaction attacks that have on hits that are really like, ooh. Whereas Dorinthia doesn't actually do anything to your hand. She doesn't give you tokens. She doesn't make your life shit. She just goes, if I hit you, I get stronger. I ramp up.
Yeah, but
if I don't do it, I get weak. Azuri doesn't get weaker if you block her. She just does it all the time. She just goes, well, what am I going to do? I play like Dorinthia in, what am I going to do? But the actual hits don't ramp up anything. It just fucks your turnover every single time. And
I like Azuri.
And she has a lot of on hits.
I think it's going to be meta dependent.
She has a lot of on hits.
I know that's a bit of a cop out, but I think Azuri does well into certain heroes, and I think if we see a lot of that, I think Azuri is a really good rogue choice. Like if you've got to make a meta, I think, I
think she has a ceiling.
I think
we've
she
seen
does.
the ceiling.
She I think she definitely does. But I think that ceiling is enough for certain matchups because of the on hits and because of the stuff that you can just do to certain heroes that they don't want it to happen. And I don't know if that makes her hot or not. And I realise that's the point of this segment.
I'll tell you what, let's just say she is hot. Because if we did this 2 weeks ago, we would have said she's not hot. Then we saw the Chicago Brawl and done it well. And I think she's actually pretty hot. She's a pretty hot choice, and I think she's going to be popular for the RTN season.
Again, also, it's one of those heroes that just gets better and better the more interesting
generic cards,
cards that get printed, which I really like. I like that. That's what I didn't like about old Arachne. How they basically just ended that.
New Arachne.
What? No, that's Blitz.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. I don't care.
Okay, Azalea.
Are we on to that now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Azalea is hot.
She's hot, isn't she? It's like she's.
I don't think she's that hot.
What?
I think she is.
She's literally got. She comes in with multiple attacks that have at least 2 on hits per attack. She has glaring.
She doesn't come in with multiple attacks. She just
has one attack. She comes in with 1 attack with multiple on hits. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. She had, which is with Dominate, and she has one of the most powerful attacks in the game, Red in the Ledger.
So apart from Red in the Ledger,
well, the point.
which okay, with Codex of Frailty, she has 6 of now.
Yeah, no, and she actually has a tutor card as well, so she's literally got not the death whistle to find it at any point, and then.
But apart from that one, if they don't find that one
they've
card
actually got
early,
7 copies because she's now got the quill that can put another copy into the deck. The legendary one to put 3 arrows into your deck.
Copies, yeah.
No, 3 different arrows. 3 different arrows. She could have a 7th
She
version.
never runs that quiver.
Why not? Well, she could. Anyway, that's the point.
She could.
But she's got glaring weaknesses. But she is hot.
She is hot.
She's the best proactive hero at the minute. She's the best proactive hero.
Discussions at my local armory last night. Like, she's a ranger. She bricks hands.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, but with the it's like saying never plays Viscerai because
I'm not.
He bricks.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the inconsistency will let her down.
I just hear Katsu. That's all I'm hearing. Is just this.
I don't think it's that. I think Simon's making.
No, I'm winding him up.
I just think that doesn't stop
side
him
ducking everyone.
Hero.
He's
in 30 Azalea matchups with my Katsu deck. I'm 18 and 12.
Ooh. That's cool though. That's actually really interesting.
So 60-40.
60-40, exactly 60-40.
You need to stop playing these new Azalea players that are picking up.
I know, yeah,
for the
it's
first
great,
time.
isn't it? Well, I just looked up my Lexi stats as well. I'm 11 and 2 against Lexi.
I think Azalea is definitely hot. I don't disagree with what Simon is saying, but I think what Simon is saying is the hero can brick and it's a ranger. It's like, yeah, sure, like every hero has.
I think Azalea
is a proactive hero that wants.
I would be incredibly surprised if we don't see an Azalea win like an RTN.
She's going to get some living legend points. I completely agree.
I think that's a really. I think that's
a good indicator of
rating because I think any hero can get into a top 8 because you can always like luck your way through the Swiss if you just happen to play the right hero.
Yeah, like me
playing actually winning a tournament, I think it takes some real skill and takes a
I'll take your point, Dan.
I think but I agree with you, Simon. I think she is definitely overblown. People are going absolutely mental, and I'm very happy about it because I want to be selling all of my Ranger cards.
Yeah.
So keep. I think she's the best hero in the game, and I think if you don't play her, you're a fool. And I'll be selling my my Rain Razors tomorrow morning on the Discord. So come and buy them.
All right, and let's move on to Katsu, and I think this is going to be a contradiction.
Katsu's hot.
Katsu's not hot.
Katsu's hot.
Did you actually say Katsu's not hot, Simon?
I said he's not hot.
He's hot. I love him.
Oh, I like it. Simon was doing this setup as if he was going to tell you why Katsu was this amazing deck. I'm beating everyone, and then you go, not really.
I will give you my honest opinion.
Go for it.
I absolutely bloody love playing Katsu. I think it is a super fun deck. And it just has so many options. It teaches people how to block properly.
What, right? Or the
opponent?
The opponent, right. I was going to say, you're not blocking.
Better at the game.
Yeah. Make your opponents better at the game. However, it does have a bit of a weakness into Oldham and probably Icelander. It doesn't like ice.
Does it not like ice? Is there no deck? Is there no sort of tweaking you can do?
Yeah, there is. You can tweak into Icelander. Oldham is a bit of a struggle. It is honestly a bit of a struggle.
Okay, well, how many bad matchups do you have?
The problem is the biggest weakness in matchups is against the most prevalent hero,
which is Oldham.
Which
I'm actually going to question that. Because I don't know if Oldham is actually going to be the most prevalent hero in the RTN season.
So I think RTN season is far enough away that people will have been through the ultra aggro phase and then gone back to, oh look, we can just win with Oldham.
I think, yeah, that's a good point. The reason why we don't see Oldhams do like kick off hyper well in the Chicago Brawl is because every new meta starts with an aggro meta.
It's what we say every time.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And we just forget and we go, oh, he's done. He's like, no, he's waiting. He's just waiting. He's now got more defensive cards. That gives him Ponta tokens. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. There's also a lot of people that just don't like playing Oldham because they just don't find the deck very fun, especially in the UK.
Until they give up
I think
the
maybe
will.
it's more of a down south thing, but we barely see any Oldham down one.
That's because you're all Prism and Dromai stands, right?
It's Lexis. We get loads of Lexis.
Oh, Lexis now. Okay.
I think Katsu is hot. It just struggles into Oldham and Icelander, and
Does Katsu
Azalea
struggle into Icelander?
and Lexi and
It depends on how the start of the game goes, I'll
occasionally
be honest.
other heroes and maybe every hero. But
I
it's
haven't
fun
lost
to play,
to
right?
Katsu
So
with Bolton in ages, so
struggles into Bolton, struggles
Yeah.
into Levia sometimes, struggles into Dory. Apart from those, though, you got a really good matchup into every
Pretty hot.
hero out every day.
I'll slip your
It's
tenner
weird.
afterwards.
I think
man.
it
Thanks.
really interesting, isn't it, that you can literally give a hero a 0 cost, deal 8 damage over 2 cards, and it's not the best hero in the game. And I think that's what does that say about the amount of disruption that we have now?
You don't have
going
enough
around?
on
'Cause
hits that disrupt
yeah,
opponents.
it's just damage, isn't it? With
No,
Fi,
you
it
actually
was
have
enough.
on hits, but their
With
on
Fi,
hits
it
are
was enough.
positive for
Every
you.
attack is an on-hit.
I think it actually.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna. I think
Not
it'll be.
technically no, Simon, just the first one.
I want to end this
Come on.
point, and no one's
Show
going to
me
hear it
Katsu.
because it's the end of the podcast.
No,
Because
this is the best bit. Everyone's listening right now.
oh,
Aren't you,
no one
listeners?
listens to this bit. Trust
Comment
me. The
to
analytics
YouTube
proven
video
that
if
no
you're
one hears
listening
this
to
bit.
it. You don't see the Spotify analytics.
I feel that we're now seeing that
everything.
actually what are the heroes that are generally seem to push and do really well, unless their damage numbers are so insane, like Fires and Briar. The heroes that tend to just seem to come out of the gate doing really well, they seem to have attacks and on hits that negatively affect the opponent. Not the heroes that have these. They give you no negative effect. They give you more buffs and ramp yourself up, like Katsu does, and Bolton does, and Fi does. Do you know what I mean? And Briar doesn't give you anything that goes, so you're now worse. Whereas Icelander, Oldhim, Lexi, Azalea, every one of their cards go, if this does something, if this touches you, you're in the shit. And that's what makes you go, oh, shit. Okay. And then Andromai as well has a couple of cards that go, if I do this, you're way worse. But every other hero that doesn't have
it's
that,
like
and even
Dromai is
Bravo.
like damage on steroids, right? Like it's like they have infinite damage if you don't do anything about it. And
yeah, they have
blocking,
board state, which is a completely
but rather
new
than blocking,
way.
it's using your cards not to attack the opponent, to attack an entity. And if you don't do anything about it, they do infinite damage to you because they just keep attacking over and over again, as long as they got a red card on the deck. But no, I agree with you,
but it's funny
Hamish.
that all the heroes that have positive ramp effects like Viscerai and Briar and everyone are starting to fall
And I
off
think
a little
that's-
bit, and it's the
But
ones that give
that's
negatives.
the natural progression of this game, is that it used to be a game about damage. And I think if you look back, even historically, and you actually brought this up earlier, Hamish, when you were talking about the difference between Dory and Azuri. What does Dory do? Dory increases the amount of damage that you do. You grow and grow and grow your Dawnblade. You do more and more damage each turn. You make you make it much harder to shut down the Dawnblade, and it just grows out of control. What does Azuri do? Azuri doesn't
Disrupts your
increase the
hand.
amount of damage, but she disrupts the opponent.
Literally
And I
everything
think
she does, even her weapons disrupt you.
that is what is going to be really important. And Katsu has Whelm and Gust Wave, right? That draws a card.
Katsu's got one. Katsu's got one attack that
Cyclone Roundhouse.
No, not even
Oh
that.
yeah, that card's
No,
sick.
you're missing
Love
the
it.
best. No, you're missing it. That's not even the one. Katsu has the strongest negative attack in the game, Dishonor.
Yeah.
If that hits, you're fucking GG.
That's really
Like, you have no hero ability.
It's
forever.
not GG.
No,
but
no hero ability to the rest of the game.
But
there are certain heroes that it is GG, like Riptide, Kano, Azalea,
Dromai,
Lexi,
No More Ash,
Lexi, so
Bolton dead. Bolton's dead in the water. He can't play the game.
It's really good against nearly every hero, and even like obviously Dash, but
especially
really,
Dash.
even heroes where you think like, oh, it's not that good against Fi. It is. Like if you've ever played Fi and you've had your Phoenix Flame banished from the
permanently
game,
removed
to
forever.
put your Phoenix Flame in at the beginning of the day.
It's huge.
At the beginning of the game, it's
And
huge.
I think that's what LSS have done. They've recognized that they've created a meta of on hits of disruption that might not be Katsu's meta, but they've made it up to him by giving him a card that will make essentially Katsu and actually Ninja, because the actual line is not Katsu dependent, though obviously you need ways of fetching the combo lines. They've made Ninja relevant almost forever.
It's not actually that hard to get the whole line off.
Because, well, I'm just saying, if there's ever not a Katsu, if there's other Ninja that don't necessarily have the ability to pull the cards from the deck, but there's always going to be something that Ninja can do to essentially win a game. Because I think it seems like the direction that Flesh and Blood is going is that hero abilities are becoming more and more relevant because there's only so many simplistic hero abilities that you could print, and they're interesting and fun when your hero does a bunch of crazy stuff, right? So
yeah, and they've even printed a generic that just turns off your hero ability for a turn. They literally got there's a sleep dart and humble.
Anyway,
yeah.
I feel like we've been through all the heroes.
We've done a what's hot and what's not, and we made it out, and we're still friends.
We're only 10 minutes late, and I think everyone should go and subscribe to YouTube and sign up to our Patreon, and they should go and check Twitter for an upcoming giveaway.
It's probably already been done.
Let us know which of our, we've come up with some what hots, what's not. If you disagree strongly with anything we've said, it'd be really interesting to hear people's thoughts on Katsu. Really interested to hear people's thoughts on Azuri. I think I don't think any of us play Azuri heavily. I think that's fair to say.
I gave it a go.
So,
no, I've given it a real go.
I would be really interested to hear from firm Azuri players. Are we missing something? Because I think Azuri is probably the one that we could be the most wrong.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, if I was to pick one. Maybe. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great, it's post Easter, so hope you had a good Easter, and we'll see you.
Hope you're enjoying skirmish season. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
In a bit.